Hello, this is international football commentator Derek Ray, and make no mistake, this is your source for all things black and gold. Football just wouldn't be football without Berwick Rangers. Stand by for this edition of the Let It BRFC podcast.
Welcome to the BRFC podcast. I'm Adam Hunter and I'm joined on co-hosting duties by Kevin Haynes. Hi Kev, how are you?
Very good, very good. What about yourself?
Yeah, I'm well, thank you very much. Currently in lockdown. I know, I'm on my 30th birthday in lockdown.
I'm still not believing you're only 30. Gaffer looks younger than you.
Aye, but he looks well, doesn't he?
Aye, Gaffer's looking alright. Apart for that mop. That should see him at training, Adam, with a Kappa gear on. He looks like a wee Italian with the long hair and the tight Kappa stuff. He's looking very continental at training.
I agree, Kevin. I should have maybe played abroad to do this cold weather stuff. It's not for me.
You've got the wee olive skin and all that. You would have fitted in.
Aye. Thanks, pal. I'm glad you noticed all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and as our guest this week, we have Berwick Rangers manager Ian Little. Hello, Ian, how are you?
I'm great, pal. Great. Had a good weekend away there, so refreshed and back again, so ready to go.
Great. Where were you, St Andrews?
Yeah, just went up to St Andrews, taking the kids and that away, the whole family, so just need a wee bit of time away there, especially with the kids. So, yeah, really enjoyed it. Weather was good. And my cousin Kevin Gordon was up there as well, so I bumped into him and had a wee night with him as well. So I enjoyed it, mate.
Is Kevin Gordon the ex-footballer?
Yes, he used to be at Berwick.
Wee rat.
He also works with me now. We always have a wee ding dong with each other. You know, I signed him and gave him the highest wages ever made, and he says, "Aye, you're the only uncle that's ever released me." So it works both ways away there. So.
Great, so it's been a couple of months since we last caught up. What are you feeling about the squad now?
Well, the most important bit was right at the start, that we could get the boys to commit and stay. So the boys we did get kept home from last year, they were quite excited to stay on. So that was the hardest part, but I think we knew we could be a wee bit more patient and try and bring the correct calibre of player in, and I think we've done that. We've done that, so a bit of youth involved in that as well, and a good bit of experience, so there is a nice blend there.
Yeah, it seems like a good balance between the two. It has been a busy summer in terms of recruitment with 9 new faces in the club. Are there any players in particular that you feel like the fans should be keeping an eye on or keep an eye out for?
That's a difficult one to say, because we have brought in at least 3 or 4 younger guys in there. So I'm excited to watch them play as well. It's all how quick they can pick up the pace and stuff like that. So that's exciting stuff for me. For fans, I think we just got to be a bit patient and see what comes inspires from them. So I like the young uns. Lyle Smith gives us a bit of drive going forward. Young Joe Purvis, super fit, great recovery and everything. So he's going to be really exciting as well, especially the defensive side of things. So all that side, the goalkeeper, we've got 2 goalies in now. Big Doogie's gave us a bit of experience, but an older head, and you got the young kid Andy McNeil, who's the 2 of them. It's going to be cracking to watch the 2 of them fight for that number 1. To be fair to you,
each player that we've got in, Adam, each has got attributes. You know what I mean? So pinpointing, one that's going to excite somebody, it's difficult because they all do different things and they do different things well. You get people who are excited by fullbacks going up and down the park all day, or you get excited by centre forwards who score goals. It's every single one of them's at the club because they've got something.
Yeah, I know you've worked with most of the new signings yourself in the past, haven't you?
Yes, but that's what you tend to happen, especially the situation probably Berwick are still in. We're still, what do you mean? We're still trying to chase for players. It's not as though we can go and pinpoint a player and say, "Oh, let's go for him. Let's try and buy him for X amount of pounds or whatever." We're not sort of at that area yet. But I think what we've done is, it's boys that it's not just myself. It's really Kevin and Darren as well. We all know these players and have experienced a good period of time with them. So the three of us have really worked hard to make sure that the players that have came in are right and they're good. So, but listen, it's all about blending them together, I've worked with Kieran Summerville 3 times now. He's going to be, well, he can be a good right back, he can be right wing, he can be a centre forward, to be fair to you. So I know all these attributes. He'll get us up the park. Craig Reid is, Kevin's worked with him, Darren's worked with him, and actually had him at Livingston as well. So to know them all, But yeah, it's looking promising, but it looks good on paper. But we've got to make sure that we can dig out the results,
Yeah, and Kev, how does it work? So the three sort of sit down, have a sort of conversation about an area or a player that might be available, and then is it, if you've already got contact with that player, you go and speak to them, or how does it work in that sense?
We sat down pretty. Obviously, we had more time this year because of the COVID stuff. So we managed to pinpoint what positions we wanted to strengthen in. We managed to, it takes weeks and weeks to compile a list of players for these positions, and then you start narrowing it down. Who's best. And what we've managed to do this year is we've managed to get a group of boys who not just good players, but we think are going to gel together. I've said it before. We've got a wee band of Spice Boys. The Mayfield boys, or whatever they want to call themselves, are the ones that went to school together at Newbattle. So there's 5 of them now. There's Ewan Smith, there's Sinky, there's Fozzie, there's another social group, if we call it. So without it getting cliquey, we've created a good squad that know each other outside of football as well.
Yeah.
There's a big ex-Hibs element as well now. You've got Big Dougie and Kev and Sinky and Ewan and Lewis Allen. All these guys they've all been at Hibs, within a year or two of each other, and they all know each other through that circle. So, in my opinion, it's been a long process, but it's been a good process. I think it's it looks like it's come to fruit for us.
So 3 games into pre-season, how have you found them so far, Jano?
Well, I can't speak for Saturday's game there, but the report I got for Kevin, I think we've done the basics really well. I try and look for certain things in the games. I wasn't too impressed against Herrick. I felt they moved the ball quicker than us. They had better phases in the game. These are the things I look for. So the Tuesday night game was a lot better against Whitehall. We did do a lot of things better. We did do things quicker. But it's early doors. We sat down and discussed that we hadn't really played much football in that 4 or 5 months or what it is. But near had Herrick So, but again, we can also go back to we're playing at home, and I think a lot of teams like coming down here and they really treat it like it is like a cup final, and we even felt like that against Herrick Kev. We need to stand up to this and make sure that when people do come down to us, that we move the ball quickly and do the good phases and get overloads and create chances. So I never seen that in the first game. I've seen it a little better in the second game. Still picking up in fitness, some boys, I think. And as I said, I don't know much about Saturday's game there, but it's coming together, and we've still got a few more games left, Adam. So if we can keep delivering what we want at training, and the boys switch on to that, I think we've got good enough players that we could maybe go and create the overloads and create a lot of chances and hopefully win the games.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the squad. I'm happy that, you know, the shape of the team, the experience, that we begin to get the shape of the team we want to play to suit the players, but we're just not getting enough. The ball's not being quick enough for me. We're not understanding certain areas of the park that we could get overloads and stuff like that. But we're looking good going forward. You know what I mean? We're strong. You know, we're going to create half chance and make them goals. Sometimes you maybe didn't need to play too much to get that. That's just natural instinct for good strikers and good forward thinking. So the more games we'll get, the more we'll learn off the players. And as I said, we just keep working hard at training, mate, and trying to implement. As I said, it's just getting in the right area, making the right decisions, I think, to feed two strikers and everybody else.
How have you found it without having fans in the ground so far for pre-season games? I know there's only been 3, and we tend to play pre-season friendlies behind closed doors at times. I know we did last year, but has it been any different?
I've not had so much pelters from behind me.
I stand on the other side, I know. So
I do, all right, in front of me then. It is different, eh? It is different. I always find the fans can also put a wee bit more pressure on you. I think they're not going great, and even if it's only 50, 100, whatever there, it's, you know, the fans can, you can always hear the shouts and that, eh? Which normally question yourself, am I doing the right thing here? But that side, you always want the fans in, eh? I certainly am enjoying what we're doing. I'll be honest with you, I'm not enjoying having to go and sit in a stand and in a red zone and whatever, but it is whatever.
It's odd in the team talks and organisation for the stand, eh?
I'm not a big lover of a long team talk, but you know, sitting in a stand and try to do a 5-minute team talk and try to keep the players' concentration. It's hard enough keeping them when they're all nice and tight in the changing room, but when they're all spread out and you try to have a look at everyone, then some are picking their nose and others are looking the other way. At least you can contain that in the dressing room, mate. But
folk watching the seagulls flying by.
Aye, exactly. Aye. Well, there's a couple of seagulls there. That's the mentality of football players, sorry.
How have you found using the player data so far?
I could do with a bit more information, to be fair to you, Adam. But I enjoy it. I like all that kind of stuff. And as I said, I've been desperate to meet. It's Dan, ain't it? Dan does it.
Yeah, Dan. Yeah.
And, just to go a few more, maybe the technical stuff, and keep me on top of it. But it's always good to see. Your eyes always tell you what the players are doing, but it's also good to see if your mind, you were right. Sometimes we're debating it, Kevin, aren't we?
Aye, there's been a few instances where we're, like Jano says there, you know what you're seeing, and then when someone's put down in front of you in black and white and it doesn't marry up with what you thought you saw, you're questioning yourself. But you know, Jano's used it already. We were second game in, and Jano used information that he got given to him for the first game. So there's benefits. You know, benefits. Whether he used it in the right way or no, I don't know. He was digging at the players for not passing the ball enough, but you know, but it's a tool to be used, and it's good. And you know, we're looking at it and assessing it.
What are you hoping to get out of it?
If it can help me for more to one-to-one with the player, that will help definitely. I think you know, sometimes you get in the heat map bit on the where the park is and that. And I'm always trying to make the players play and be in the right position or position themselves correctly in the park. And I'm still trying to work out the intensity runs or whatever that is. But you know, it's. I think it will. I think if I can get bits and bobs with it, just to go one-on-one with the players, it'll definitely help. But overall, as I say, the Herrick Walk game, you know, so there were 450 passes to do 320. Straight away, you're sitting going, that's not good enough, eh? So that part helped. So I think what's good about it is it gives you an average. So it averages
the distance that the team's covered in a game, for example. So we can compare Saturday's game to Tuesday's game, so we know if we're getting fitter. If our average is going up for 8k to 9k, boys are running a bit more. The average is lifting, and like Yano says, the other side of it is the passes and the shots and the possession and whatever. Dan can work all that out for us. So it's good. It's a good tool.
How would you like to be in with a chance of winning £1,000 every month? If that sounds appealing to you, because it sure does to me, you need to join Berwick Rangers Supporters Club's monthly draw. For just £5 per month, you'll go into a draw with hundreds of other Dream Team supporters to win the monthly jackpot. In addition to the £1,000 prize, the Supporters Club will be donating £250 each month to a chosen local charity, with the rest of the profits from the draw going to the football club. For details on how to sign up, visit berwickrangers.com or message the supporters organisation on Facebook, Berwick Rangers Supporters Club, or on Twitter at BRFC Sup Club. Berwick Rangers Supporters Club, supporting your club and your community.
Lewis Allen has scored 4 goals in 2 games. Cam Smith scored 3 in 2. Do you feel that was an area that we were lacking in last year in terms of goals?
Every year's the same, eh? It's always hard to try and get a striker in, and strikers that are going to score goals for you. You always want to strengthen that department, mate. I thought young Daniel did really well for us last year, for being probably his first real season. Probably could have scored more goals as well, but yeah, I think we were being a wee bit more strength in that area. So listen, every club's the same. We're always looking for strikers. We're always looking for strikers. We've had a few on our list this year. We spoke to a few. We're still wanting to try and get a couple in, but we just came up there and with an opportunity. And I actually spoke to him last year at the summertime as well.
Yeah. I spoke with him on Saturday. I interviewed him on Saturday, and he said the same thing. He said that he spoke with him at the same point last year.
It was a long shot last year, So,
let's not kid about again. It was a long shot again this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's had a conversation with you regarding football. The club's helped massively in getting the deal done, and it was a long shot, but between you all, you've got it over the line. So it's credit to everybody involved.
Aye, like normally it's us three that sits doing, and even Bev and Michael. But we all spoke to Lewis and then the board got involved a wee bit as well and helped us. And so it's great that side. We're all working hard. They get a wee insight of how hard it is to try to sign a player. It just doesn't happen like that just because you promise them the earth. But Lewis has been he's a good lad, and I've known him for a while now. And listen, it's what he enjoys, football. So I've got a job in my hand to make sure he enjoys it, or we've got a job in our hand to make sure he enjoys it. So that's what we're aiming to try and do, and keep him fit, and hopefully, good. He will learn quite a lot from Callum. He's still a young laddie, but I think he's got good experience. But I think he'll learn playing off of Callum, and we've got a bit of youth round about these two as well. You've still got Lewis back to come back. He's got a wee bit of an injury at the moment, so looking promising that way.
I think the two of them are going to be an absolute nightmare for centre halves, aren't they? Both big lads.
Just talking in their ears. Callum's a nightmare for anybody as soon as he lets his mouth go. He was actually telling a Tweedmouth player to Google him on Saturday.
Oh dearie me. Aye. He's like Marmite, eh?
Oh.
I love him, I hate him. I just like him because he's a good player. Simple as that. He's always been a good player. So I'm hoping they two do well for us. But as I say, we've still got Lewis Barr there. Daniel, plenty of energy. Looking forward to them. The main thing is we have got a small squad at the moment, and it's keeping the injuries. We've got 4 injuries. That's including Grant Rose at the moment. Kev Walks played, but still a wee bit injured. But Lewis and Lyle a good couple of weeks, if no more. So if you can keep injury free with a wee bit smaller squad, then it certainly would help us.
Yeah. What's Lewis' sport? It's his ankle, isn't it?
I
So
think
his foot, I think, other than his ankle.
He got his foot stuck underneath his body and all his weight pushed on top. So he's done a wee bit damage to his tendon and ligament. So he said he'd be back after an hour after he'd done it. That's Lewis for you. It's realistic. You're out for 6 weeks, Lewis. Oh, what a guy.
The hospital to see if he could train on Tuesday.
We've talked a lot about the budgets being reduced this year. However, seemingly we're still attracting players of a high quality. Berwick have got a historic issue about player recruitment and attracting players. Have you seen a shift in that mentality? I know you touched on it earlier.
I think we're still trying to get a wee bit more. What's the word? A wee bit more popularity back about us. It's been hard, mate. Trust me, it's been really hard to try and get the other players back in. I certainly couldn't have done it myself. So Kevin and that, and me, Darren, and all the coaching staff, we worked hard to do it, mate. But it's funny, I was playing golf on Friday there, just before I left, with the old Meadowbank boys. So all the boys that I played with Meadowbank, which was 30 years ago. So there's about 20 odd us, and they always talking about they're still at Berwick and whatnot, and they always say that Berwick was always a good club. It was always a good club to go to get. I hope this doesn't sound wrong, but a good finance. You got a good.
Yeah.
You always got a good deal doing here. So it was always a club you could go doing. So I think we've lost that a wee bit now.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't think we've lost the good history, the big name of the club, because we are still a big club. But it's something we've got to deal with. I think it's something we've just got to keep working on. And I think maybe with some of the calibre of players we have actually got in this year, with obviously the budget being a wee bit less, it's up to us to try and get, and I'm saying us, it's not just the coaches, it's everybody, even yourself, this podcast, to just get everybody back up and try and get us back to a level that I think we all know where we're meant to be. But it's going to be hard work, mate. Finance everywhere is difficult, and there's teams in this league that are blown away with their budgets. It's
unreal.
There's a massive factor though, out with the financial gain to attracting somebody, and that's winning football games, You know what I mean? If you're winning football games, then it's easier to attract somebody. So that's where we have to kind of start. Our job will become easier if we start winning football games, and it's easier to attract a player, and you gradually make your squad better. Just by winning football games, that's where you need to start.
I think it does. Everybody just realises it just comes to winning games and getting yourself a league, and it does. But at the same time, you have to start somewhere. You've got to get a profile for the club again. You've got to get a base. You've got to get everything. You've got to make sure everything's organised, and the players come in and they like it, and it just starts to generate and understand that, and then the quality comes in. But it's hard to try and do all that and win games at the same time.
Yeah.
So I think honestly, it's taken me a while to realise it just doesn't happen in 6 months or whatnot. It does take a bit of time. So we need to make sure that, yes, let's say we've got to win more games than we do lose this year. That makes sense.
Yep.
And then I think then we're there again, and then after that, hopefully, or anything after that, I think it's a bonus. So, but
I just think it's a progression. People are seeing the progression, and then you attract better players. It's having people talking good about the club and about the team, and they all want to play for the Gaffer because the Gaffer's good and his coaching's good, and that's how you get better.
Yep, and that's why hopefully Lewis Allen's came in and he's going to enjoy his football, and that's what you've got to do. That's what you've got to do with all the players, and make sure they enjoy it, and then if they take that step and end up stepping forward again, well, we've done our job as coaches, and then we've really done a job as clubs, and then a club, and everybody sees that, and then that's where everything just starts to spiral forward again. So, but as I said before, all the boys were saying it used to be a club. It used to you could financially get a good deal there. So I think they maybe days. Well, I'm not saying they're away, but I think it's going to take a bit of time there to get us back up to that level again.
Are you expecting any more business before the start of the season?
Yeah, we've definitely got to keep trying, mate. It's with whatever's out there. I think our budget now, I think we're at our maximum, but we can always work things out. We've still got
the option. We've not really explored it yet because we were looking to get our own squad into place, but we've still got the option of loans.
Yes.
You can potentially get a couple of loans in that doesn't break the bank. What's more important for a loan club or a loan player is game time. And if we have a player that we feel can get game time and gain experience and it doesn't cost us anything, then it's a win-win. Loans
are hard, Adam. You've got to be fair with the clubs and the player that when you bring them in, they've got to get game time. It's not really benefiting anybody. So, but listen, that's an option there. We've still got to go, but I think we've got ourselves to a good place now. So, listen, we're always going to look. Never got to say no.
So the fixtures came out last week, with 10th of October currently the target date for Game 1. Are there any fixtures you look out for first when they're released?
Who got the first game? There you go. That's how bad I am.
Right.
I didn't look too far ahead. To be fair, I had a few texts regarding through Christmas time and New Year. So I think we've got Gala double header, is it?
Yeah.
And then
it's funny because I look at the fixtures and I've got us taking about 30 points every month. So I think we've won the league already, according to me. I look at it and I go, all right, we'll win that one. Oh, we'll win that one. Oh, we might only draw there. Oh, we'll win that one. I think I've had a beat.
To be fair, Adam, I've actually looked at it 3 times. I still only in the first game. It's I think my knowledge of keeping stuff in my brain's poor. So I ken it's severe at home, and then the rest are just. But listen, I think we've not got a too hard a start. To be fair, all the games are going to be hard. It doesn't matter. But you could have been away to Kelty or East Kilbride, big games like the first 5 or 6 games, and then not that it really matters because you still got to play them anyway. But sometimes maybe the games, I'm not saying no is hard, but Kelty and that have big budgets, and you can see the players are signing. You could maybe get a few points on the board, and it just generates confidence probably and a wee bit of momentum. But so it's not been such a difficult start, I don't think, what I've seen so far. But there will be periods where, it could be 5 or 6 weeks, and it's like, wow.
We've always said that. We've always said that the target is winning 3 points on Saturday. It doesn't matter what's after Saturday. It's this Saturday that counts. And that, in my opinion, that's what stands you in good stead. You know what I mean? It's no thinking about anything beyond the next game.
Adam, sometimes I phone Kevin on Wednesday and say, "Who have we got Saturday?" Just so I could organise training for the Thursday. Oh dear.
How are you feeling about the games returning for Boxing Day and New Year's Day?
Yeah, I would rather have a break, to be fair. Out with the family and whatnot, and it's a busy period for us when it comes to the family side. But listen, I like my football and whatnot. Though she share my wife and that, I'll enjoy it Boxing Day and New Year's Eve. So that's the reason I'm saying I'd rather have maybe a couple of weeks off at that time of year, just for the fact that I'll not have my wife moaning at me I'm away.
Club 1881 is your opportunity to be part of a community of Dream Team supporters, helping to transform the club's financial fortunes. For just £18.81 per month, you can help your club become a more sustainable one, safeguarding the future of Berwick Rangers Football Club and building a solid foundation for the club to target future success from. Club 1881 members receive access to exclusive Gers content ranging from podcasts to videos, player interviews to meet the management team sessions, newsletters to club shop sales and more. And if that wasn't enough, all Club 1881 members will gain free admission to all home Lowland League fixtures, where they might even scoop a £200 jackpot through the bond scheme number, also included in their membership fee. To become a Club 1881 member today, simply head to berwickrangers.com/shop/Club 1881. One team, your team, dream team.
So we're talking about signings in the league, and there's been some surprise signings across the Lowland League this year. What are your thoughts on the league overall?
I'm not going to say it's unfair, but it's just, such a gap between, teams now. Maybe just regarding with the signings and the budget wise, I think there's such a big gap in the league that if it was me, I would like to see them in the league that they can compete with. It doesn't mean to say, the budgets are high. I'm only guessing the budgets are high just for the signings they've got. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't always make you win leagues.
Yeah.
But I think, Cove showed that, the signings they had and the progression they made. Just try to get out this one league, it's difficult when you've got such, I think, big clubs in here. I just want something to happen, something to change, somebody to revamp it. If it means maybe saying, right, prove you've got a budget of 200 grand for the next 3 years, put them in the league. Put them in the league they belong in. You know what I mean? See to this. That's my thinking. I just think the golf's too big in your league with Summit, and maybe some teams are just some.
That happens in every walk of life, though.
I get that, Kev. I get that, but I just feel like we're so far behind now.
But there's folk.
We're so far behind, mate. We're now taking boys for the Premier League coming down to our league because our finances up in the top league are no great, and they're coming down to our level, which surely that it helps maybe players that are at that club that you're getting all these experienced players, but at the same time I dig it. I'd rather them all stay up there and work, get paid the right finance they should be doing up there, and then at the level they should be. For example, the boy Nicky Law, John Brownlee now has been helping a wee bit East Stirling, and he's watched him at training and he just says, wow, what a fantastic player. And you're just saying, well, why is he in the league?
Yeah. He's brilliant against us last year as well.
We need to sort the top level for finance. I don't know. Stick all the money back up there. I don't know, mate. It's great for our league. It's great for our league. It's exciting and that. But you go and get, for example, last year against East Stirling, we go and get beat 5-1. It looks like a humping, and you're like, well, Nicky Law was good that day. We made too many mistakes, but I never think we were ever out-competed. I thought we competed in the game well, but at the end of the day, everybody see 5-1, and that's what can happen, And I scratch my head with Adam. I had the kid answer. I just need, me personally, want something to change quickly.
It's like a restructure.
Well, aye, but keep the money up the top. Keep the money way up the top. The top clubs, because if you're losing players for Hamiltons and that because of the finance coming to your league, there's something wrong there,
Yeah,
definitely something wrong.
That's when. Again, we're kind of going off track here, but that's probably when the Scottish football should be franchised and no businesses. If you get what I mean, if they're on a franchise, and like Jano said before, you've got to have X amount here to be deemed as a top team. Have certain criteria, not just what you can generate as a business, how many strips you sell, or how many times you can let your park out for 150 quid a night. Do you know what I mean?
Just to get just to get things moving a bit quicker. You know what I mean? I didn't get it. Just get teams, if they've got a plan and they've got the money there and they've got a structure of budgets for 3 years, and you're just saying, well, they've still got to try and get your league. I get that, but let them compete where they should really be competing, and then you've not got such a gulf in that whole league. But I'm rambling on because I could talk all day about it, but I've not got the answer for it. I've not got the answer for it, mate. They all comes to money,
I think what's interesting this year though is big spenders are going to lose out this year. You know what I mean? There's people that are investing serious money and they all kind of get out of the league.
Just to close out then, what are your hopes for this season?
At the start of the season, even when the new board and that came in, it was just a case of get us back moving and keep us safe, but things have sort of changed now. It looks like top six and everything like that. Maybe I'm not going to go to the players and say, right, let's try and win this league. Well, I will actually, but I'll be laughing when I'm saying it. I think we've got to be realistic, and we'll give them targets. We'll have to give them a target. But overall, as a club, I think we've got to be realistic and just say, listen, let's make sure we win 50% of the games, or win more than what we lose, and hopefully, if the fans come back, that we're playing good football and they're playing with a smile on their face and they're creating chances and whatnot. As long as we've got a bit of dig about us, which I felt we had last year, Kevin. Just maybe 1 or 2 games we didn't think was. It just didn't feel like there was enough dig. But other than that, take it step by step. We look like we've maybe got a better, no better squad, but things are turning over better for us at the start of this year compared with last year. It's just progression again. That word again comes out. So I wouldn't be top 6 would be great, but when you look at the teams that are bringing players and whatnot, not that I'm saying that our players are no as good as that, but we have got a bit of youth in there, so it does. I'm not saying youth make it different, but I think clubs have got a lot of good experienced squads rather than maybe a bit of youth in there. So let's make sure we're entertaining, mate. Let's make sure we've got a fight on every Saturday and try and score goals.
Well, great stuff. Thank you very much both for joining, and thanks everyone for listening. We'll be back with another episode of the Let BRFC podcast very soon.